Hey y'all, before we jump into the madness, take a quick second, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, share this video with your crew, and drop a comment down below because I need to know what y'all think about this one. Trust. Mit's wild. So I stumbled across this old clip the other day, yeah. It's from like 3 years ago, but somehow it hits harder now than it did back then, especially with everything that just went down this past Easter. The timing? Almost too good. And what Tiffany says in this video? The irony is off the charts. Couldn't make this stuff up if you tried. So tonight, we're rolling it back, taking a deep dive into a moment that aged like expired milk in a gold-plated bottle. Let's go. So picture the scene. It's the early pandemic era. Full-on Zoom days. Back when nobody knew how to work there, Mike and everybody looked like a floating potato in a box. In this clip, Tiffany, who, let's be honest, has always loved the dramatic moment, decides she needs to address an urgent situation in the village. Of course, she couldn't let the moment pass. So she hops on camera to make a formal statement. And y'all, even through that grainy Zoom feed, the energy was intense. She came in hot with a full-on declaration. Board of Trustees and residents. I need everyone to understand there is no trespassing at the old village hall. The way she said it, you'd think someone just breached the Pentagon. She was, putting heavy emphasis on the word trespassing, like this was some high-level security breach. Then she went on to say she'd been receiving concerning reports apparently. Someone had been sneaking into the old village hall without permission, and Tiffany, she was not having it. She made it crystal clear, didn't matter if you used to work there, if you were a resident, or just some curious bystander if you didn't have clearance. You were in violation. No exceptions, no excuses. Then came the plot twist. How did they even get the access code? Boom. That was the moment you knew this wasn't just about a building. This was about control. This was about Tiffany flexing her authority. But she didn't stop there. Nope. She upped the ante. Said anyone caught inside without proper clearance would be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. She made it sound like sneaking into the village hall was equivalent to election tampering or bank fraud. And at first, you're like, okay, maybe she's just trying to protect the property, keep it legal. But then Tiffany dropped the real kicker. She said someone reported seeing a former Village of Benton employee walking around in a Village of Benton uniform. And that's when things took a hard left. Because now it wasn't just about unauthorized entry, it was about impersonation. And according to Tiffany, if you're not employed anymore, but still rocking the village gear, that's not just sketchy, that's straight up illegal. Called it impersonating a government employee, started throwing around phrases like criminal offense. Like she was about to bang a gavel on Law and Order, Municipal Edition. And the person she was calling out? Someone she personally fired back in 2021. Not long after, she took over and started flipping everything in Benton upside down. Now keep up because this is where the irony takes the wheel and crashes into a wall. That fired employee? They hadn't worked there in years. But according to Tiffany, they were still out in public rocking village logo gear. Not just a hoodie either, we're talking official embroidered merchandise. And judging by her reaction, you'd think they were running a shadow government out of a community center. Like this man threw on a polo and tried to declare martial law at WALGR. EENS. And then no. Yes, Tiffany stood there, chest out, dead serious, and declared, once you've been fired, you no longer work for the Village of Benton. Period. End of discussion. No gray area, except fast forward to this past Easter, and guess who's front and center? Posted up in front of the village building, passing out food, talking to a crowd, and taking photos like she's still on payroll? Yep, Tiffany. She's not the mayor, not the supervisor, not even a paid intern. But there she is, standing at the podium like nothing's changed, handing out food she didn't buy, and grinning like she still runs the show. So wait, when someone else wears village gear, it's a crime. But when she does it, it's nostalgia. Make it make sense. So let's be clear, if a fired employee wears the merch, they're impersonating an official. But if Tiffany does it, it's leadership. Girl, no. It's cosplay, like she dusted off. The super mayor costume one more time for a community theater encore, and the way she stared into that. It's a zoom camera back in the day, like she was laying down the law. That wasn't about safety. That wasn't professionalism. That was power, control. And let's be honest, some of us remember exactly what was unraveling in 2021. Her whole relationship with Kamal was falling apart. And maybe, just maybe someone she fired started getting the kind of attention she wasn't ready to share. Because when you mix power with personal drama, it always gets messy. So now she's out here saying you can't wear the logo, you can't stand near the building, you can't represent the village. But girl, you're doing every single one of those things. Every rule you made, you're out here breaking them. Publicly, proudly, like it's opposite day, and we all miss the announcement. So what are we seeing? We're seeing someone who makes the rules until they don't serve her anymore. Then she tosses them out. Tiffany set the standard, and then went and stomped all over it, on camera, in public, with a smile. Hypocrisy is loud, the ego's louder, and the irony. Screaming anyway, that's the wrap-up for tonight. But I want to hear from you. Is Tiffany just being petty? Is this a full-blown power spiral? Or is there something deeper going on? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. You've caught the hypocrisy. Subscribe if you haven't already. And send this to someone who remembers when she still had a job. Now, Tiffany, and weren't you the one shouting about how once you're fired, you can't be wearing village gear? Well, congratulations. You're fired. You're officially unemployed. You're not running a board, you're not in office, and you're definitely not chairing the block party. And yet there you are, still out in the streets acting like the Queen of Benton. Side note, let's talk about the makeup, girl. It's giving traffic cone. That foundation is loud. It's like 8 layers of sunset orange and peak July heat loud. In 2025, we're still doing this? That foundation isn't blended, it's battling. You're not glowing, you're melting. It's not public service. It's drag brunch in a toaster oven. Now, let's really spill the tea. Tiffany has been telling folks that impersonating a village official post-termination is a criminal offense. Ma'am, you've been cosplaying as mayor and supervisor for how long now? Is this local government or Comic-Con? You said the law applies to everyone, so when does it apply to you? And okay, can we pivot real quick to the wig? Allegedly. She spent a whole $1,000 on it. Let me say it again, 1,000 American dollars. For that wig looks like it was crafted from packing tape, cheap yarn, and a prayer. It's giving glue gun at 2 a.m. in a Dollar Tree parking lot. The color? Tried to be blondined up somewhere between dishwater beige and disappointment. It's not executive realness, it's Pinterest fail. And listen, if you really went to cosmetology school, I've got questions. Because that lace front ain't fronting anything but stress. If you paid $1,000 for that hairpiece, you didn't get a hairstyle. You got a warning label. But let's circle back, because while we're roasting the hair and foundation, the real issue is this. You're not the mayor. Supervisor? You don't even have a title. And yet, you're showing up at events, in front of government buildings, giving out donated food, pretending like you're still the one calling shots. This past Easter, you showed up like it was your grand return. Baby, that wasn't a comeback. That was a costume change. You're not running a village. You're running your mouth. And the way you made a big deal over someone wearing a Dalton hoodie like it was a threat to national security. Girl, they were probably just picking up their last paycheck. But you turned it into an FBI case. Classic Tiffany. And since we're in the prophetic zone, here's a quick throwback. June 7th, 2020, when you were still in power. March 2024. Gone. Just like that. And the person you tried to bury? Doing better than ever. Meanwhile, you're still out here clinging to a title, and a wig that should have been retired 5 scandals ago, and now you want to build an ice rink? Name it after your daughter, baby. That's not legacy. It's vanity. This ain't the Roman Empire. You're not building a monument. You're building embarrassment. This whole performance, too much. That foundation, way too thick. That wig, a full-on crisis. And this super mayor cosplay, exhausted. But here's the thing, you could fix it. You really could. You could stop with the delusions, stop pretending, stop spinning your own scandals into fairy tales, Because right now, you're not running the show. You're running out of time. All right, I'm done. For real this time. That like button, subscribe, share this video, and if you're feeling generous, hit that join button to support the channel. Keeps the tea hot and the jokes sharp. Take care of yourselves, Anne, Tiffany. Girl, take care of that wig. We're begging you, bye.